Boy, holidays are a funny thing. They always feel like Sundays, always have to me. Anyhow, hopefully everybody took some time out to observe Memorial Day and then have some time together with friends, family, what have you. And so it is the 26th of May, 2025, and just thought I'd come on here and just randomly do a game. Hey, there's Jack Dawson. So, Jack, did you get you got my message? So it's not Dombrov baseball that we're giving away. But if you join the Discord, you can get Pure Sim Baseball and you get Strategy Baseball. And probably in a couple weeks, I'm going to make Old Time Baseball available as well. But I'm going to put a Discord invite in here for you anyhow. It's a great community. So, hopefully you'll, come in, talk some baseball with everybody, post what you're doing, and just things like that. So let me just look for this Discord invitation. And I'll put this in the chat for you, okay? Just give me a second. It's hiding somewhere on my desktop. Like these things do. There we go. Found it. This was, this should work, I hope. And then you'll find those two games under in the Ned McGreevy Discord. Hey, Corey. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Yeah, so let me put that in there. I'm doing well, Jack. Thank you for asking. Corey, how are you? Welcome in. Been a while since I've seen you. So, yeah, but Jack, as far as Dombrov baseball goes, you can get a free version of it. It's pretty much fully functional. There's a couple things that are limited, like the number of seasons that you can do at any one time or whatever. But it'll give you a good, taste for the game. It's a good game once you get past the really crappy interface. I do like it. It's hard to broadcast, but it's again, that's no reflection on the game. The interface though, Matt, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Give it a shot. I mean, it comes with hundreds of seasons, and yeah. So Corey says he's doing well and he's been busy. All right. Well, busy's good, right? Busy's good. Keeps you out of trouble, I suppose. So I think we're going to do, I started working on putting actual ballpark images in this. I only did it for one ballpark. It looks cool. The only thing that I wish you could do, it does look nice. It really dresses up the game, but you can't reposition the fielders. So it can look a little bit cluttered, but it does dress up the game. So as I get better at doing that, I do want to rename all the parks that come with the game, so I don't want to lose those. Okay, so did I not just? It's up there in the chat. Just 2 lines above you is the invitation to join our Discord. Okay, but Dombrov Baseball is not one of the games that I'm offering free. You have to actually go to the Dombrov Baseball website, which I put in the comments. In that video or down, answered your comment. But the 2 games that they're available for free in the McGreevy Discord. Pure Sim Baseball was once a commercial product. Has every season from 1900 to 2015, I think it is, and you can create pretty much any type of league you want or do any, sort of season replays. It's a very, very, very deep game. Customized ballparks, the whole thing. And then after that was made available by the game's creator, then there was a spin-off freeware that was kind of borrowed some things or whatever. It's called Strategy Baseball. So it's more straight up a season replay engine, but you can play some exhibitions. So the 2 games, if they were ever put together, would be just perfect or close to perfect. But there you go. But as far as joining the Discord, that's the invite. Click join the McGreevy Discord. Again, hopefully you'll talk about some projects you're doing, games you're playing, maybe when you do try. And I'll put in a link here for Dombrov Baseball because I'm just a nice guy like that. All right. So I'm gonna do the free edition, as it says here, free edition, and I guess I could show this. There we go. Boop. There we go. Free edition comes with nearly all the features of the purchase game, but some of the key features will have limited use. You can check out the free program for as long as you like, but we hope it compels you to make a purchase. So there you go. So it's available for Windows and for Mac. So for you Mac players, I don't know how many baseball sims there are out there, but we'll take a minute and just talk about that. Talk about this game since you're here. I don't know. Let me see how much it costs. So when I bought it, the original version, which had a much nicer interface, much nicer, much cleaner, it was like $13. And then Richard Dombrowski, who developed this game, was cool enough to, for those of us who bought it, we got this newer version for free. So I don't know how much the game costs. Yeah, it's $25. So it's $25. If you go here, so Jack, what if you just join, just say hi to everybody, and I think we'll figure out. I mean, I don't know if you want to put your Discord name in the chat, you're comfortable with that. That's cool. I mean, that's fine. But the thing is, just join. It's not like, I just figure, people come in and, always looking for something, something fun to try out, baseball related. And I figure, trying to find pure sim baseball now anywhere. I was able to keep a copy of it, and I have it up on my Google Drive and all that kind of stuff, which is actually what you'll have to click on to get it. But it's because with the internet, with the Wayback Machine, that's how I found it some years ago. I bought the game years ago and then lost it and was so chuffed to be able to find it, so I snagged it. It's really, really, really fun. All right, Jack, cool. Be looking for you on Discord. Say hello to everybody. I don't know what baseball games you play. The Ned McGreevy Discord is pretty much baseball only, but that's okay. Just poke around, man. If whatever game you play, or you just want to talk baseball, you want to post some links to whatever. It's a great, great community, great family that we have, and it was born out of our Ned McGreevy Baseball League that's going to be restarting again. There we go. And Corey Highfield giving you a welcome there, Jack. So, Jack, even with the free version here, I mean, so you can create any season in baseball history that you want. You can create any type of sort of fantasy league that you want in Dombrov Baseball. Again, the animation, no Z-plane animation on the ball, stuff like that. Utilitarian play-by-play. But it's a good game. It's a good game. You have to get used to the interface, though. Once you get used to the interface, it's a good game. And for $25, it's fine game. So, just for instance, I'm not going to take all night with this. So this is a digital adaptation of Sports Illustrated Baseball. But then Richard just added so much more to it. So Sports Illustrated Baseball was a board game that came out early 70s. I think it was only around for a year or two. There's only a couple seasons available for it. I think instead of All-Star, an All-Star game or two or something like that. So, but you can play it by rolling your own dice. The dice, you can look around on the internet and find out what the dice looked like in the Sports Illustrated game, and just go on eBay, buy some blank dice and make your own. So you can roll your own dice, input the results. You can play it as a baseball sim. You can play it as sort of a hybrid between the two. So in other words, you can play it strictly digital. You can have the cards up there. The cards look great in the game. If you don't want to use the cards, you don't have to. The only real big caveat besides the user interface, and this caveat is not Richard's fault, because he was doing a kind of a digital conversion of Sports Illustrated Baseball, is for users who are red-green colorblind. You're going to have difficulty with this game. Otherwise, it's pretty cool. So look, here's original all-time All-Stars that you can get here, right? So this one contains the original 16 Major League teams with players from 1900 to 1970. So, because as I said, this game came out in 71 or 72, the board game. But then there's an updated version of it. But there's some additional settings that are available. Then there's an oldies So if you're like me and you like older baseball, 1900 to 1959. Then there's modern. So most of you guys here would rather play sort of more modern baseball, whatever. So this one has 28 teams. And it goes from 1960 to current day, which is pretty cool. There's all of this stuff here. Ultimate all-time all-stars. There's lots. There's a great teams. So this one contains 62 teams spanning the 20th century with many World Series, pennant winners, blah, 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 100-team win season. So on the left-hand side, these are like specialty. On the right-hand side are seasons. And most of the seasons are in here and already done. And if they're not, just make your own. So there you can see. Many of these created with the layman import. But then you can go in and tweak all kinds of stuff. Some of these are premium seasons and stuff like that. So really, if you like the game and you can get past the interface and everything like that, for $25, what you're getting is pretty cool. So even though he has the original scheduled 1981 season, as if there wasn't a work stoppage, and then he also has one that with the 1981 season with the work stoppage. There's just a lot of baseball here you can play. Now, when you get back to the dead ball era, you start to see gaps. So you would have to, like, if I wanted to create 1902, 03, 04, 05, I would have to create them in game. But and then there's a big jump from 1908 to 1927. So I don't know. I might be a nice guy and just create some of these seasons to see if Richard wants to, post them up or whatever. Maybe he just hasn't had time, because there's a lot of great baseball seasons there that are missing. So, but again, the 40s need filling in and things like that. But look at all the seasons, all you get. You can also just download player images for this thing if you want. So, you can just go here and just download seasons. One's for Windows, one's for Mac, and pretty easy to do. So that's Don Broad Baseball. Yeah, Pure Sim is just it's such a good game. It's such a good game. Bearing in mind it hasn't been supported since 2016, but it's a fantastic game. And when Sean Sullivan made it available for everybody, he said he was going to be working on a sequel. Well, that was 10 years ago, and have not heard a peep since then. So there's D. Scott Howard. How you doing, D. Scott? Hope you're doing well tonight. And I'll say a blessed Memorial Day. I calling it Happy Memorial Day is kind of a weird thing. I'm going to turn on this new show comments on the stage, so that way everybody can see a little bit better. So when you type, you'll be able to see the chat in this little transparent overlay. I want to thank everybody, and before we get into a game here, largely when I do these games, I'm bullshitting with you anyhow. Two things. So first, if you saw the last broadcast, I know that a few of you did anyhow. I thought it would be fun with Pocket Pennant Run Baseball because you don't have to install seasons. All right, I will definitely friend you, Jack. Probably after the broadcast or sometime tomorrow. Thank you, man. And you come in here one more time and you get a wrench. So pretty cool that way. It's my way of saying thank you. So I thought about a fun idea with Pocket Pennant Run Baseball, and so far people seem to think it's a pretty good idea. Where, as you know, Pocket Pennant Run Baseball comes with everything. Massive. I think it's 6 or 7 databases in that thing, where you can just pick and play any one of the many things you do in Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. Is just pick a game from baseball history and play it. So I thought it'd be really fun. We were looking at Saber and a couple other resources on the broadcast the other night, and there was Saber listed their what they felt to be the 50 greatest seasons in baseball history, or 50 greatest games in baseball history. I keep saying seasons, games. So that'd be fun to because we know in any baseball sim, it's not going to turn out the way it did. But it'd be fun just to play out the game, talk about it, If it was a game that somebody, obviously, if we were doing a game from the 1930s, nobody here was at any games in the 1930s. But when we do like more modern ones, there might be some folks here that were at the, the Bucky Dent game or the George Brett Pine Tar game or whatever. Just a chance to talk about it, or maybe you watched it on the telly, or you listened to it on the radio, or whatever. You caught a YouTube replay of it. Just to talk about the game, some of the players and things like that, because so often we do all kinds of things in baseball sims like season replay, which is mostly what a lot of people do, or if you're like me, a lot of draft leagues and cross arrow plays and what ifs. But Pocket Pennant Run allows us to focus down at the game without having to install a season, and I love that. I just absolutely love that. So, some of the games I'm thinking of doing is like the 1951 Bobby Thompson Shot Heard Round the World. We will be doing that the famous game in which the Pirates, Pittsburgh Pirates, the first team to field an all African American starting lineup, and that happened in 1971. But just important games, fun games, whatever they are, blowout games. We went through the whole list of them. So if you guys have any ideas of specific games that can be regular season, divisional, championship series, World Series, what have you, just put it in the comments. I do look at comments in this channel pretty much every day, and I respond to just about every comment. So and I we'll try to keep note of just games that you've thought of. It doesn't have to be like something earth-shattering. Maybe it's a game that means something to you. Maybe it's the first time you went with an uncle, or somebody like that. Maybe it was your first baseball game that you went to. Whatever it is. So please do. The second one is a Mike Garland idea, which I briefly touched on, and I'm going to devote a stream to talking about that. But I wanted to touch on it. He's proposing a new game mode for Out of the Park Baseball, a future edition of it. It's called Perfect Manager. So in a nutshell, what it is a great idea. Nobody wants to see Bobby Thompson, says D. Scott Howard. How's Utah Mike doing? So I've asked Mike to reach out to me. I haven't seen anything from him on social media, so I hope he's doing well. He was here the other night. So, of course, we continue good vibes out there to Sports Time Machine. So D. Scott Howard says last day of his 50-day 5-job pet sitting tour, a week off, then back out until July. So D. Scott Howard on tour, man. We you know what, D. Scott, I'm going to do a mock-up, because I told you I'm working on some other YouTube channels that are not gaming related or baseball related. But they're other related. And so what I'm going to do, man, but I'll send it to you in a private message. I'm going to work up a mock-up. I'm going to create a T-shirt, D. Scott Howard, and your whole thing. And I'm going to make it like a shirt with a model wearing it, and I'm going to send it to you. So I'll be on the lookout for that soon. All right. Anyhow, you know what? Let me make this really easy. I'm going to, just because this is just so super cool what Mike is, and rather than try to summarize it from memory, I'm just going to summarize it this way as soon as I can. Hopefully Out of the Park forums seem to be spinny here right now. Okay, well, maybe not. Site can't be reached. I wonder if there's something going on with them. If not, I'll try to summarize it as best as I can. In fact, I will. All right. You wait by the inbox. Okay, well, it won't be tonight, I don't think. But if Cousin Ken, because I've been sharing some of what I'm planning with Cousin Ken Castro, just some of the actors that are going to be involved in this one of these new channels. So, but yeah. So basically, right, you guys know you have Perfect Team and Out of the Park Baseball. And, so you're basically opening baseball cards, packs, which is really cool, without the nasty gum and stuff like that. And you try to build a perfect team. So I think really this is like one of these things of just two people having the same idea independently. because I always thought the reason I've never played Perfect Team, because you play it for free, it's fine, and it's great that Out of the Park Development's supposed to make a few more bucks. I'm not against that. But I thought, well, why would I do that when they're giving me all of Major League Baseball history for one price, and I can create my perfect team or teams or whatever? So that's kind of where I was on it. But what Mike has done, and we never talked about this, he sent me a private message one day. Hey, what do you think about this? Would you mind commenting on it? So it is in the general Out of the Park forums, and some of the responses. Essentially, what it is you would take any two teams in baseball history. All right. So let's just say the 75 Red Sox and the 86 Mets. All right. And basically, so this would be a thing. It would never be a head-to-head thing, but it would have a leaderboards type structure to it. So what you would do is you would play actually this series twice. All right. So you would play maybe managing the 75 Red Sox for 5 games. And then you'll play 5 more games and manage the 86 Mets. And because it has to do with Pythagorean won-loss record and stuff like that, the points you earn, in other words, if you win that series and or each game that you win adds up to points, and those points then there's a leaderboard and stuff like that. It's a super cool idea. You might want to take an underdog team, because if the team is the underdog, so let's just do, for an example, like a really bad team, like the 1985 Pirates. So you have the 1985 Pirates, and you're going to play them against the 1978 Yankees. In your 5-game series, when you're managing the Pirates, if you win a few games, or if you take that series, you get tons of points. So it's a way to get down, and you have to manage out the games. And it's really cool. And then you would play 5 games as the Yankees. However, you get fewer points because they're the stronger team. So, but it's a way to play another neat way to play the game. And I'm hoping, the last time I checked, none of the developers have commented on it yet. I hope they see it. I'm going to keep talking about it on here as much as I can, especially when I'm playing an Out of the Park game, which has been a while. Dwayne Mart's joining us. So just caught the end of a game, Dwayne, about an hour ago. So you got to check out that great channel. I can finally chat in there now. There's some weird YouTube bug that which I don't even know how to turn on subscribers only mode, but Dwayne has that on, which is totally cool and fine. But like for weeks, like I'm like sending those little heart emoji thingies there, and I don't even know if you ever saw those. Just a way to say, hey man, I'm here. So tonight was the first night in like 2 or 3 weeks I've been able to chat in Dwayne's chat. So good game tonight, man. Good game tonight. Good game. So get on that channel. Get on that channel. All right. So, but check out the Out of the Park forums and look for, I think the thread's titled Perfect Manager, Mike Garland, or you can just search. Well, if you search Garland, you're going to see a lot of posts from him. But it's getting a lot of really positive support for some really major players in the Out of the Park community, and I think it'd be super fun. Our Red Sox fan, yeah, he's awesome. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I never, I'll go in, I'll stop in when Al's doing baseball or boxing. But nobody does boxing like our Red Sox fan. I know he just did an Action PC baseball game the other night. So yeah. Oh, always, Dwayne. You kidding me? You kidding me? All right. So enough of that. And 24 minutes in, we're going to now get into a game here. So tonight we're going to see, so the way this works is I have no idea. I didn't look who's on these rosters. These are like at least 5 different versions of all-time great teams of each franchise through the years. Tons of teams, both leagues. I've gone through all this before. So anyhow, this is going to be some version of the Reds versus some version of the Red Sox. I have no idea. So we're just going to play the game. And we'll see. Hey, we'll see. All right. And let's just click OK. All right. And we're going to be at Fenway Park for this one. So it looks like we're going to be somewhere in the 1940s for the Red Sox. So the temperature game time is 53 degrees. The wind is blowing out to left 10 miles per hour. And there's rain in the forecast today here in Fenway. So here we go, and here we are. So let's see. Are we? No, we're not. This is just the ballpark diagram from that time. As I can see. Yep. So some good mix of everybody here. What's nice about these sets from Diamond Mind Baseball is you're going to see players because there's so many different all-time great teams through the years. You're going to see people that you would never see in just a regular all-time greats league. So good stuff. All right, so it's going to be Vada Pinson leading things off here for the Cincinnati Reds. And here we go. Frank Sullivan on the mound for Boston. Gets the sign from Nixon. Count 0-2 on Pinson. And Sullivan comes right after Pinson and gets him, strikes him out. So 1 up, 1 down now here for Grady Hatton. So again, if you look on an all-time greats Reds team, you're probably not going to see Grady Hatton. But on here you will. It's really cool. All right, anyhow, 0-1 pitch on the way to Hatton. Sullivan kicks and fires. This one off the fists of Hatton. Easy pop-up back to Sullivan on the mound, and he will take it for out number 2. All right, this guy everybody knows. Here comes the judge, Frank Robinson, batting in the 3-hole. Ted Kluszewski waits on deck. Sullivan winds and deals. High bouncer to third. Malzone charges, fields the hop, waist high, fires to first, and Robinson is out of there. So the Cincinnati Reds go 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the first. The Reds nothing, and the Red Sox coming to bat. And you'll probably hear me actually use Malzone. I'm actually going to probably say it the way it should be said, which is Malzone, because we don't have silent letters in Italian. All right, leading things off here for the Boston Red Sox, Jimmy Piersall. So a great classic baseball movie about Jim Piersall called Fear Strikes Out. So definitely one to check out. All right, Jim Maloney on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. Ed Bailey behind the dish. And Maloney ready to deal to Piersall. The 0-1 count. Maloney comes home, and this one hit to second off the end of the bat. And Temple after it has the one-hand pickup, snap throw to Big Clue in time. All right, 1 away now. And here's Jackie Jensen, very well known to Boston Red Sox fan. Maloney toes the rubber. The 1-2 on Jackie. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Maloney powering a fastball right by Jackie Jensen. So 2 down. And if you don't know who this guy is, you shouldn't be a baseball fan. Here's Carl Yastrzemski. Full count on the captain. Here's the pitch. And got Yastrzemski looking. Change up in there at the knees. Jim Maloney. Beautiful pitching there. Yastrzemski doesn't like the call while retreating to the dugout. Yells something to the home plate umpire. And we can't repeat it here because it's a family channel, right? We head to the top of the second. We are scoreless here in Boston. So catch up with Bernie Strom also. He did a triple header today. The man is a machine. So he's not a streaming demon like Dwayne Martz, but do check out Bernie Strom. Did 3 different Red Sox replay seasons in 3 different games. He did PC replay, action PC, and out of the park. And the years were 48, 75. I forget what the other year was. I'm sorry. If Bernie was on here, he'd tell me. Check it out, though. So triple header, Memorial Day baseball. All right, Ted Kluszewski, Ed Bailey, and Gus Bell due up for the Cincinnati Reds here in the top of the second inning. Frank Sullivan with the pitch. And this one grounded past Sullivan, and Eddie Brasud with a long run. And from behind second base, he throws out Kluszewski. So nice play there by Eddie Brasud. At short. All right, here's the catcher, Ed Bailey. And here's the pitch from Frank Sullivan. Bailey hammers this one in the hole left side. And Eddie Brasud backhands it, throws from the hole. Great play. The throw's low to Yastrzemski, and he digs it out. But Bailey already there. The ump says that Yastrzemski didn't have control of the ball. So, wow, crazy play there. All right, here is Gus Bell, the right fielder for the Cincinnati Reds, batting in the number 6 slot. Quick move to first base by Frank Sullivan, and Yaz reaches for the tag, and Bailey is just back safely. All right, let's rewind it here. Sullivan eyes Bailey, and here it comes. Fastball jammed and popped back this way. Nixon hustles to the screen, but he has no play. Let's do it again. Sullivan checks Bailey at first. 1-1 on the way to Bell. Bell bounces it to Green at second. They're only going to get the force. No play at first as Eddie Brasud peeled out of the way, and wisely so. All right, so Gus Bell on the fielder's choice. 2 down now for Johnny Temple, second baseman. 0-1 on Temple. And the delivery from Sullivan bounced back to Brasud at short. And he'll go the short way to get Gus Bell, and that will retire the side. So we go to the bottom of the second, and we are scoreless here in Boston. Tony Conigliaro, Frank Malzone, and Eddie Brasud due up for, I know some people call it Brasud. So, but nonetheless, here we go. So here is Tony C. All right, Jim Maloney on the rubber. 1-strike pitch to Conigliaro. And Conigliaro hits a ground ball to the right to short. McMillan throws across the diamond in time for the out. So routine 6-3 play. And here's Frank Malzone playing the hot corner here for the Boston Red Sox. Maloney has the sign from Bailey. And here's the pitch. Jammed Malzone. Hatton a couple of pumps at third and throws to first for the out. So 2 up, 2 down for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the second. And here is Eddie Brasud. Maloney toes the rubber. Now the 1-1 pitch. High fly ball to left. And Robinson waiting straight away. He will pull it in. We'll go to the top of the third. Quiet game here at Fenway Park. No score between the Reds and the Red Sox here. Diamond Mind Baseball. Using the all-time great players. Volume 1. All right. Roy McMillan, Jim Maloney, and then back to the top of the order, Vada Pinson for the Cincinnati Reds here in the top of the third inning. Count even on McMillan. Sullivan offers. And swinging a flare job over second. Sounded like a broken bat. Pearsall will not get to the ball. Falls in for a cheap hit. So first hit in this ball game, Cincinnati with a runner aboard. And here's Jim Maloney. And he'll be looking to put one down here. Sullivan from the stretch and the delivery. Maloney squares. And the bunt is in the air. And it falls foul. All right, so the lefty Maloney back in the box. The right-hander Sullivan into the stretch. The count, no balls, 1 strike. And here's the pitch. Maloney looking to bunt again. This one down the third base line, and this one rolling foul. Malzone watching it go about 10 feet foul there. So Maloney back in the box again, trying to advance McMillan. 0-2 pitch on the way. Maloney is sacrificing, bunted toward the mound. Taken up by Frank Sullivan. He throws pursued, covering second, and McMillan is out. Oh, so Maloney gets that bunt too close to the mound. Sullivan able to get it off the bump quickly. So fielder's choice back at the top of the order now for Vada Pinson. No score here. Maloney into his lead at first, 1-2 offering, and Pinson is tied up and goes down on strikes again. So Frank Sullivan has Vada Pinson's number. All right, 2 down now for Grady Hatton. So just 1 hit in this ball game thus far. Hatton popped up in the first. Here's the payoff pitch. And Maloney off to the races. Hatton strikes out swinging. All right, bottom of the third. Scoreless tie here. And who do we got leading off here? We got Russ Nixon, Pumpsy Green, and then Frank Sullivan. All right, Maloney deals the 1-0 now on Nixon. And this one is smoked left side in the hole. Backhanded by McMillan. The long throw across to Kluszewski. Close play at first. And they do just get Russ Nixon. So nice play out there by McMillan. And here comes Pumpsy Green. Love that nickname. I don't know if that's whatever. It might be his real name. 3-1 pitch. Hard ground ball right side. Taken by Kluszewski. Underhands to Jim Maloney in time to get Mr. Green for out number 2. All right, here's the pitcher now, Frank Sullivan. Frank Sullivan right now working on a one-hitter. Early innings, though. 1-2 pitch to Sullivan. And this one is grounded hard to short. McMillan has it. And over to first for out number 3. So the Boston Red Sox go quietly. We go to the top of the 4th inning here. And Cincinnati will send up Robinson, Kluszewski, and Bailey. So the only hit so far in this game is by the number 8 Cincinnati hitter. All right, home plate is clean as a whistle as Frank Robinson stands in to open up the 4th. He was out in the ground ball last time up, and the pitch. And here's a blast to right center field. Jackie Jensen going back, watching, chasing, and he will get there nearly 382 feet away. So a big loud out by the judge, 1 away. All right, Frank Sullivan seems to be fine, climbing the mound, and here is Ted Kluszewski now. Bats from the left side, 1-1 pitch from Sullivan. He fires, and this one is hit hard to right. Turning is Jensen, but this one off the wall. Kluszewski has a long double. So that's a big out getting Frank Robinson. All right, here's Ed Bailey now. Second hit for Cincinnati in this contest. Bailey in the box. Bats in the number 5 slot. He was safe in an error back in the second. 1-2 pitch on the way. This one popped high behind third base. 3 players are chasing. Eddie Brasud telling everyone he has it, and he gloves it for the out. So nowhere for Ted Kluszewski to go, and here comes Gus Bell now. Johnny Temple waits on deck, coming to the plate now. Gus Bell. Only fair speed down is second in Kluszewski. The 1-0 pitch, and this one is a chopper. Sullivan misses it, but Pumpsy Green, second baseman, gets it and fires to Yastrzemski to throw out Bell, and that retires the side. So 1 extra base hit, runner stranded, a big loud out, but nothing to write home about. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Reds and the Red Sox, scoreless tie. And again, here we are, 11:11 p.m. On the 26th of May, 2025. And here is Jimmy Pearsall up for his second time. He grounded out the second back in the first. 1-2 pitch from Jim Maloney. And only a look, and it cost him. Strike 3. All right, Jackie Jensen now in the box. Struck out his first time up. The 2-2 pitch to Jensen. And this one is swung on, and Jensen strikes out. Foul tipped it, and Bailey held on to it. So 2 away now. And Yastrzemski here for the second time today. Struck out last time up. Caught looking. 3-0 pitch on Yaz. Maloney's pitch. And Yastrzemski taken all the way this time and rewarded for it. And he will amble down to first. So 2 out now for Tony C. Batting cleanup here today for the Boston Red Sox. Bounced out McMillan to Kluszewski last time. Maloney to the stretch. The pitch on the way. Yastrzemski gets the signal to steal, but he does not get a good jump. And this one low, but taken easily by Bailey. All right, Canigliaro back in the box. Yaz leads. Quick throw over to first by Maloney. Yastrzemski dives head first. The tag, and he is safe. Oof. Close play. Kluszewski with a quick tag there. Yaz able to get in. Gets up, dusts himself off, and does it all over again. Here's the 2-2 offering to Canigliaro. And Jim Maloney gets him with an off-speed breaking ball. So Canigliaro with a look of nonplussedness, if you will. That does it for Boston. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Still no score here at Fenway Park. Thank you guys for hanging out. So the line score tells the story. All right. Johnny Temple leading things off here. McMillan on deck. Maloney in the hole. Both pitchers doing a fine job here today. So Temple leading off here in Cincinnati, fifth. 2-2 pitch for Frank Sullivan, and here's the delivery. And Temple reaching low, scoops a fly ball out to Jimmy Pearsall in center field, and score that one 8 as Pearsall taps the glove once and twice and brings it down. All right, here's Roy McMillan now. Couple of good plays out there at short today for him. All right, he's 1 for 1 with a base hit. Sullivan back on the rubber now, the 1-1 pitch. This one hit on the ground. Tough play for Eddie Brasud at short. Kind of got a tricky hop, but he's up to it. Fires on Diaz. Score that one 6-3. So 2 up, 2 down. And there is the man and the myth and the legend of 1,000 voices. Aaron Reed, how you doing, buddy? I hope you are doing well. As always, as always, as always. All right. So that's the other thing. A little shameless plug here, but really it's for Bernie and myself. Saturday, 14th June, will be the resumption. I didn't realize it had been a year hiatus, but Bernie is very good at keeping track of these things. The Diamonds and Dice podcast will be returning. We're going to be hosting this return episode on Bernie Strom's channel that night. So it'll be 10 p.m. Saturday, 14 June. So the topic is not going to be a debate because we're not about clickbait. But what we're going to talk about and have a couple gamers on, hopefully we can get Legend Sports Universe and we can get Ken Castro. Because the topic is going to be, why do you play cards and dice versus digital, whatever. We'll come up with some catchy title. But we all have a reason why we play it. Now, one of the things, though, or why we choose what medium we play. But this is not going to be a thing where somebody is going to be, oh, yeah, well, you know, I play cards and dice just because digital sucks. It's not that. We want to kind of get just, you know, a sort of deeper kind of sense of, why that might be your preferred medium, right? Your preferred interface to sim this game that we all love. So John DFW joining us. And Aaron Reed says he's doing fine. He says he's playing a lot of pure sim baseball. So that's always makes me happy that people are playing pure sim. And hopefully Sean Sullivan will realize that people still love his game and that he should be making the second one. John, hopefully you're doing well, buddy. It is always good to see you. John is the creator of our Discord. And fantastic work. And it'll be a shock to him. Usually when he comes on, I'm like, John, could you do something with the Discord? Could you add this or whatever? I'm not saying that because everything's running just fine. Just fine. So, all right, back to it here. 2 down for Jim Maloney. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes from Frank Sullivan. And here is the pitch. High fastball. This one hit hard, well back into center field. Deep, but playable for Jimmy Pearsall retreating. And he takes it in for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Scoreless here at Fenway. So as I said, I think I understand now how to put, you're not seeing one of them yet, but I do understand now, I think, how to put ballparks. I replaced the Baker Bowl that comes with this game with one of the Gary Grigsby ones, and it looks pretty cool, except, it can be a little bunched here because this game wasn't really meant for that. But when I put it in and fire up an exhibition game, I'm like, wow, it's pretty cool to have that. So who knows? At some point you'll be seeing this game look a little bit more like with realistic ballparks, but I still love these. I love the dimensions up here, and I kind of still like these parks. I think they're cool. Can always play action PC baseball or digital diamond or out of the park baseball if I want that look. I don't know. There's something about this look. But I'll show you guys some night how to do it for the few Diamond Mine players. There's more than a few out there in the community. How to do it. It's not too hard, actually. Organizer is your best friend in Diamond Mine baseball. All right, here's Francesco Mazzone. Como stai, paisano? Eddie Brasud and Russ Nixon. All right, Malzoni in the box, bounced out to Grady Hatton last time. Malzoni, count of 0-1. Maloney fires. This one is hit well, but wrong part of the yard. Wrong guy to take on. One man down. So Veda Pinson will track that one down for out number 1 now. Here's Eddie Bersoud now batting in the 6th slot, flat out to medium left field last time. And 1-0 Bersoud. This one, a sinking liner to center. Easing in is Pinson, and he is there and has it for 2 outs. Tension beginning to build here a little bit at Fenway Park as Rux Nixon settles in the left side of the box. 2-0 delivery from Maloney. Maloney pops him up to shallow left, and it's been Veda Pinson for all 3 outs. We've played 5 here in Boston, Massachusetts, and still no score. And we're back at the top of the order for the Reds. It'll be Pinson, Hatton, and Robinson due up. Legend Sports Universe, do check that out as well. The race for the pennant continues. And no spoilers, but I did say, I think I was on here last night, that some of the powers, a couple of the teams have been powerhouses in that league. We're going to have to look over their shoulders. They've got some people trying to some teams trying to topple the crown. All right, here we go. Pinson stands in again, struck out both times at the plate. Ball and a strike on Veda Pinson. Here's the pitch from Frank Sullivan. This one tapped to third. Malzoni lays back, gets the bounce, and fires to Yastrzemski at first, and that will take care of the fleet-footed Veda Pinson. All right, here's Grady Hatton now. So 2 hits for Cincinnati in the game and 1 error for the Boston Red Sox. That is the story of the game thus far. Grady Hatton in there for the 3rd time today. Struck out back in the 3rd. Sullivan stares in, and the payoff pitch. Ball 4 on Hatton, so 1 out walk. Brings up Frank Robinson. Always a dangerous bat, Mr. Robinson. Sullivan from the set and the delivery. And this one on the ground to the left side. Eddie Bersoud up with it to second for 1. And that's all they'll get. So Robinson gets down to first. Bersoud's throw was offline. Pumpsy Green not able to get the relay. So they don't get the 2 ball there. Frank Robinson aboard and decent speed. Decent speed. Frank Robinson as Ted Kluszewski steps in. So Big Clue doubled off Sullivan back in the 4th, but never got home. Here's the throw to first. Robinson frozen for an inkling there, but then he got back. All right. And here's the pitch. Robinson off to the races. The pitch is a strike. Nixon guns it to second, throws late, and Nixon slow getting rid of the ball. And Frank Robinson picks up his first steal of the season. So Cincinnati now, again, with a runner in scoring position and the same guy, Frank Robinson. All right, Big Clue back in the box. No balls, 1 strike on Kluszewski. Sullivan lets it go. This one hit out the air to center and Jimmy Pearsall, and he is there, and the side is retired. We go to the bottom of inning number 6, and there is no score. Jim Maloney will face Pumpsy Green, Frank Sullivan, and Jim Pearsall. Pumpsy Green, left-handed hitter, batting in the 8 hole here. He bounced out his last time up. Green ahead, 3 balls, 1 strike, and here's the delivery. And Green rips a curveball to left center. This one way back, and it is out of here. And no, the no-hitter is broken up. The scoreless tie is gone. Pumpsy Green hits his first home run of the year. Goodbye to the no-no and the Red Sox to thunderous cheers here at Fenway and a great relief of all that tension. It's now 1-0 Red Sox. So Jim Maloney pitched a gem, but now finds himself on the dirty end of the stick, 1-0. All right, here's Frank Sullivan now. Sullivan in the box, bounced out to short to end the 3rd. The ball one delivery. This one, a bounder. McMillan's not going to get to it. Base hit for Frank Sullivan. Doesn't that usually happen after a no-hitter is broken up? Another hit usually follows it. Back to the top of the order now for Jim Pearsall. Nobody out. Runner on first. A run in for Boston, thanks to the Pumpsy Green home run. Pearsall is a righty. The bunt is in order here. The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Pearsall crossed up there. So first out of the inning. And there is Cousin Ken Castro. So it's not a dumb question, John. When this one is over, I will show you exactly what this is. This is super, 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 super cool. What all of this is. It's really cool. So you're right, just very quickly. So a lot of us are used to seeing or playing with, an all-time great Boston Red Sox squad, where you have Trispeaker, Yastrzemski, Ted Williams, yada, 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 on and on and on and on. And you see none of them. Well, Yaz is on this team, but that's right. I mean, how many all-time greats Boston Red Sox teams are going to have some of these players that are on here? So I will show you after this game. But what this is there are 2 leagues per volume. So there's 2 volumes. They're called all-time great players. It's very similar to the baseball history collection and Action PC Baseball. But what they've done here, John, and others, is these are different sort of all-time great squads through the years of each franchise. So between volumes 1 and volume 2, there's probably like 8 or 9 Red Sox teams, like, so you can imagine Phillies teams, things like that, the older franchises, and the younger ones, maybe 2 or 3 different ones. So it's very cool. I've never, ever seen an all-time great set like this. And yeah, just great idea. Just a great idea. I like the fact that they think outside the box. And by the way, for Diamond Mine players, be on the lookout. There's going to be 2 more volumes of all-time greatest teams coming out. And I'm hoping that one of them will be the 2007 Rockies, because that way I've been wanting to replicate the Boston.com tournament that we're doing in Allen Park Baseball. I wanted to replicate that here. And the only team that I don't have, I think it's the 2007 Rockies. Yeah. I'm not going to buy the 2007 season just for one team. It's the season I'm never going to play. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed here that will be coming up. So there you go, John. No, this is from Diamond Mine Baseball. So it is actually a product. So, and a really, really good one too. And again, I'll show you a little bit more after the scope of this. And it's pretty incredible. It's really incredible. Oh my God, to homebrew something like this, whew, it would take you a long, long, long time to homebrew something like this. So glad Diamond Mine did all the work. All right, here's Jackie Jensen. So the no-hitter broke it up, 1-0 Boston lead. Jensen 0-2 in the ball game. Maloney, Sullivan, 2 balls and a strike on Jensen. Pitch on the way. This one, a tapper to short. It's a double play ball. And there's 1. There's 2. And that's a 6-4-3 double play. We head to the top of the 7th inning. The Pumpsy Green home run broke up the no-hitter. And it is 1-0. Line score for Cincinnati thus far: no runs, 2 hits, no errors. For the Boston Red Sox, 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 error. I want to include them. Hey, Tim, welcome in, my friend. I'm doing that Boston.com thing on Out of the Park Baseball, where it was these writers got together and decided what were the, like some of the greatest teams of all time or whatever. So I put those in, and I've been playing that out in Out of the Park Baseball, and we've got to get back to it. And I'm like, I really want to replicate that in Diamond Mine Baseball, because surprisingly people are really having fun with this game. The problem is that I have every team in there except 2007 Rockies. But Diamond Mind Baseball are releasing 2 more all-time great team sets. So hopefully the Rockies will be in there. Because I don't want to spend $25 on a season I'm not going to play. Yep. So I don't even know if we've even played that Rockies game yet in the Boston.com thing tournament on in Out of the Park 26. I haven't played that, and I've been on such a Diamond Mine jag. All right, so it's going to be Bailey, Bell, and Temple due up for the Redlegs. All right, Boston holding on to a 1-run lead as Ed Bailey moves into hit. And here's the ball one offering. This one grounded wide at first. This one through the hole and into right field for a hit. So score that a single. So, you know, cards and dice guys, I think, you know what I think what people would love is if Diamond Mine Baseball, think about this fantastic play-by-play that it has. And this one, play it out of the park, and you ain't got to buy the season. Well, but you know, just because I have all the volumes, John, for Diamond Mine Baseball, I do have a lot of products for it. But yeah, I am doing it now, the Park Baseball, anyhow, John. I just because I'm such a big fan of Diamond Mine as well, I just thought it'd be fun to kind of sort of play it in here too. But imagine if they could incorporate, right, because this was basically right on Pursue the Pennant. Imagine putting your dice rolls into this thing and then letting this play-by-play play out up here. This is one of the games that has Ken Castro, who is not fond of digital games. This one has his seal of tolerance, which means that's high praise for this game. And that hit me because of its look. I mean, it looks cards and dice. You know, it really looks it. And imagine being able to roll up the dice and, you know, just play it that way. I think would be amazing. I don't know if Imagine Sports could or will ever do that, but it would be perfect, wouldn't it? Or damn near. All right, Gus Bell back in the left-hander's box. He grounded out in the 4th. Sullivan from the set and the 0-1 count. He fires. And a looping fly ball to shallow center field. Pearsall broke back, now comes in, hangs up for him, and puts away for the first out. It had nothing to do with any mountains there that he broke back. He just did. All right. I had to get that cheap one in there. Johnny Temple now in the box. One big hit in this game is responsible for this score. Sullivan checks Bailey at first. 2-2 pitch on the way to Johnny Temple. And Temple walks off even before he was called out, unable to check his swing. Beautiful breaking ball down low by Frank Sullivan. So 2 down, Ed Bailey at first. And George Crow will come in now. We've got a pinch hitter for Cincinnati. Jim Maloney waits on deck. So Cincinnati trying to get something going here with 2 outs. Ed Bailey at first. And it will indeed be George Crow. Nothing in 2 the count. Sullivan delivers, and he picks up the strikeout as Crow chases one out of the zone. And I think somewhere near Springfield. At shortstop now, Leo Cardenas will be into play short as we go to the bottom of the 7th. And it'll be Carl Yastrzemski, Tony Conigliaro, and Frank Malzone. So yeah, I have to look again, Tim. I have that link somewhere, but I don't think it's it's not. It might be them, but this was something again that a bunch of AP writers got together, sports writers, and sort of collabed on this, and this was put up on Boston.com website. So I'll have to find that link, or the next time I just go back to the tournament. It's got a good mix. 1902 Pirates are in there. I made a decision to put the 1922 St. Louis Browns in there. They just had to be. And happy to report they moved into the second round. So What a fun team they are, as you know, since you're doing 1922 right now and Drive for the Pennant. All right, here we go. So Yastrzemski leading off. He walked on 4 pitches last time. 1-0 pitch on the way to the captain, and this one is a bullet, a live drive single into center field. And the Boston Red Sox picking up their 3rd hit of the game now. So Jim Maloney had a no-hitter going into the bottom of the 6th, and then Pumpsy Green jacked one out of here. All right, Tony C. Nothing for 2 on the day. Struck out back in the 4th. Maloney eyes Yaz. 2-2 pitch on the way. Kick and delivery, low curveball, grounded up the middle. Johnny Temple at second has it. Steps on second for 1, over to first. And Canigliaro is safe. He is safe. And Cincinnati not happy about that call. Tony C. on at first. And here's Frank Malzoni. And here's the pitch from Jim Maloney. And Canigliaro off to the races. This one lifted high in the air toward the right center field alley. And Pinson will bring it down. Malzoni retired. And Canigliaro will scamper back to first. 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning now for Eddie Brassoud. 2-2 pitch. And line shot to second. Temple goes up for it and catches it for the out. Speared a BB out of there, huh? All right, so Gordy Coleman will be batting here for Cincinnati. So pinch hitter, Frank Sullivan, ready to deal to Gordy Coleman. Count full, and Sullivan deals. Hard grounder toward first. Yastrzemski has it on 2 hops, and who had Sullivan covering for the out. So score that one 3-1. 1 away now, back to the top of the order for Veda Pinson. No hits in this ball game. 0-2 pitch on the way. Here it comes. This one lined back up the middle, goes through for a single. So the Cincinnati Reds pick up their 4th hit, but have yet to put something under the R column. There's Grady Hatton now. Fruitless in 2 tries. But he walked last time. Pinson into his lead and has speed. Here's the pitch. Pinson off to the races for second. In there for a strike. Nixon throws down, and Pinson in there easily. First stolen base of the season for him. The tying run now in scoring position for the Cincinnati Reds. Grady Hatton back in the box. Sullivan gets the sign from Nixon, and the payoff pitch. This one grounded to second. And big hop there, and Boston will get the out at first, and Pinson will make 3rd on the play. And here's the judge. Cracked a double and a big long out in this game. Robinson looking to tie things up here in the top of the 8th here at Fenway Park. Have me a little sip of water here. All right. Thank you. Nothing like some good hydrogen and oxygen to make a man feel special. All right, here we go. And Sullivan looks in. The 1-2 pitch to Frank Robinson. And Robinson lives a breaking ball to left center. Pearsall motoring back and pulls it in on the run. Oh, so Bill Henry will come on now to pitch for Cincinnati as we go to the bottom of the 8th. So Cincinnati wasting an opportunity, stranding the tying run at 3rd. Russ Nixon, Pumpsy Green, and Frank Sullivan do up the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Boston 9. Thank you, everybody, for coming in tonight. Appreciate it. All right. Bill Henry making his first appearance in the season. He's a southpaw. All right, Maloney popped up Nixon last time. The 2-strike offering. Fastball outside for strike 3. So Bill Henry gets the generous call there, and we'll see whether he gets any more of those wide calls. Here's Pumpsy Green, responsible for the only run in this ball game. He jacked one back in the 6th to break up the no-hitter that Jim Maloney had going. So Bill Henry has a sign from Ed Bailey. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Check swing roller straight down the third base line. Henry is off the mound. Barehands it, turns and fires to first, and Pumpsy Green out by a step. So 2 down here, bottom of the 8th. And Frank Sullivan, will he bat for himself? Indeed he will. Base hit last time. Count full on Sullivan, and here's the pitch. And this one right down Broadway, well, maybe 3rd Avenue, anyhow, called strike 3. We head to the top of the 9th. Last chance here for Cincinnati. Ted Kluszewski, Ed Bailey, and Gus Bell. Boston Red Sox, good pitchers duel going on here. So Sullivan looking for a complete game shutout here, 4-hitter. All right. Kluszewski takes a stance. Ball 1 on Kluszewski. Sullivan kicks and delivers. This one, a little drag bunt. Eddie pursued. Wild throw, was caught off guard, but Kluszewski would have beaten it anyway and is safely on at first. All right. So the potential tying run on first for the Cincinnati Reds. And here's Ed Bailey. And he singled back in the 7th. Tying run is on first. The right-hander Sullivan comes set. Here's the pitch. Bailey looking to bunt. Bounded foul off to the right. And the 1-1 pitch on the way. Sullivan comes home. Lined by Bailey. Right to first. Yastrzemski jumps, but he can't reach it. And Kluszewski is past second. Jensen over to cover it off in right field. Bailey with a single, and Kluszewski will stop at second. He doesn't have the jets to make it to third. But Cincinnati now trying to set the table here. Kluszewski at second, Bailey at first, and here's Gus Bell. Bell nothing for 3 in the game. Cincinnati trying to get on the board here in the 9th. 2-1 count. Sullivan offers, and this one is blasted along the right field line, way back, and it is out of here. The Cincinnati Reds. The Cincinnati Reds. This was like a wow, right? Oh my God, this was, yep. This was a punch shot. So the umpires out there had to decide whether it stayed fair, and indeed it did. And in the top of the 9th inning, the Cincinnati Reds held scoreless, put 3 on the board. Gus Bell, touch them all. All right, here's Johnny Temple. Still nobody out. Let's see if Frank Sullivan recovers from this, or if indeed Frank Sullivan will be allowed to even face Johnny Temple. And looks like he will stay in there. He struck out last time. Sullivan stares in, the wind and the pitch. Temple pops it high, almost straight up. Nixon moves up the line, first base side, and just in foul ground, he handles it. First out in the inning. Big inning for the Cincinnati Reds. Unbelievable. All right, here's Leo Cardenas. Came in, didn't start the game, but stayed in, and now making his first plate appearance. 2-1 pitch, line shot to right. This one is down the line. Jensen on the move, cuts it off. Cardenas is thinking of 2, but Jackie Jensen, great arm out there in right. So Cardenas will hold with a base hit. And here's Bill Henry. Now, interesting choice. What does Boston do here with 1 out? Do you want to keep Bill Henry to try to shut this down to the bottom of the 9th? Doesn't look like it. Nope. Johnny Edwards and Leo Kiley coming on to pitch. So Frank Sullivan's day is done. And here's Johnny Edwards, lefty in the box. 1 out, top of the 9th, 3-1 Cincinnati lead, 3-1 count. And here's the pitch to Edwards. There's ball 4, and this one in off the plate. So 2-1, Cincinnati waiting till the very end. And at Boston, when we get to the bottom of the 9th inning, it will be the top of the order for the Red Sox: Pearsall, Jensen, and Yastrzemski. All right. Top of the order here, Vada Pinson to face Kelly now. Kiley, I'm sorry. Singled his last time up. Second pitch in the way. This one chopped off the play. Going to be a tough play for Mazzoni, and he gets Pinson at first. Great play at third. So on a ball that bounced high off the plate, nipping Pinson at first as the runners move up. So 2 down, and here's Grady Hatton. So certainly the Red Sox not out of it yet, but facing a 2-run deficit going into the final 3. That is the last of the ninth. All right, Bobby Adams will come in now as a pinch hitter. Grady Hatton out of the game. And Kiley from the stretch, and the pitch is on the way. This one grounded past the mound, past the diving Eddie pursued, and into center field for a single. And Leo Cardenas will come in from score. Johnny Edwards turns third. He's going for home. The throw goes home. Adams will hold first. Close play. Edwards dives in head first. Nixon blocks the plate, makes the sweep tag, and he's safe. He is safe. So Bobby Edwards just gets in there, and Adams picks up big ribby there. It is now, or 2 ribbies, I should say, 5-1. And the fat lady warming up her pipes as Frank Robinson steps in. Bobby Adams at first. Nothing for 4 on the judge today. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And this one, ground ball, finds the hole on the right side, just dribbling through to the outfield grass. Bobby Adams turns second. He's going for third. Jensen not going to risk the throw, and Adams into third, standing up. So runners at the corners, and that brings up Ted Kluszewski. Unbelievable. The game goes from a no-hitter to a masterful shutout. Now it's turning into a laugher, and Cincinnati is doing all the guffawing, if you will. All right, here's a big clue. 2 for 4 with a run scored today. Cincinnati's batted around in the inning. The 1-2 pitch, and called strike 3. All right, so bottom of the 9th, Brooks Lawrence coming on to pitch. Bobby Adams playing third, and Gary Geiger will come in as a pinch hitter as we begin the bottom of the 9th inning. So Jimmy Pearsall is out. Jackie Jensen waits on deck. Brooks Lawrence on here for Cincinnati. Obviously not a safe situation. All right, second pitch to Geiger. Hit hard into left center. Cutting it off is Veda Pinson. Makes the long throw to second, but not before Geiger is in with a double. So Pinson strong enough arm, but Geiger able to get around that. Frank T. Smith now pitching for the Cincinnati Reds, brings up Jackie Jensen. Jackie Jensen hitless in 3 attempts today. Smith, this is his first outing this season. Jensen in the box. Hit into a double play back in the 6th. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Hard ground ball down to third. Bobby Adams down on his knees to play it. Throws over, but too late. Jackie Jensen safe at first. Adams couldn't get enough on the throw, and Geiger moves to third. So the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 9th trying to put something together. Brings Carl Yastrzemski to the plate. If he jacks one, Boston's within 1. Tony Conigliaro waits on deck. Nobody out. They are on their feet here at Fenway Park and not heading for the turnstiles yet. 2-1, nobody out for Yastrzemski. Singled his last time up. Cincinnati looking for 2 here. 2-0 on Yastrzemski. Smith kicks and fires. This one hit well to right center. Chasing is Gus Bell and makes the catch for the first out. Geiger tags up at third, and he will come in to score. So Yaz with a sac fly RBI, and Boston gets one back here in the bottom of the 9th. 5-2, 1 down for Tony C., who is nothing for 3. For you and me. There we go. So out of the stretch goes Frank T. Smith. 2-2 pitch. Hard grounder left side. Cardenas has it on the hop. Over to second for 1. And across to first. And they turn it. And that is your ball game. Wow. Oh, my goodness. This had it all. This had it all. The pitcher's duel that ended up where they decided to just put the pistols away and go have a beer. So the line score for this one for Cincinnati, 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. For the Boston Red Sox, 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. Let's save everything. There we go. Home runs, the big story in this game, especially. Come on. There we go. So this was a big day for home runs. Gus Bell Just absolutely plastering the ball. All right, so let me show you guys what this is all about, or to answer John's question, I should say. So this is the all-time great players. There's 2 volumes to this, and each volume has 2 leagues. So you can see here the way that they're labeled, John. You'll see up here like Philadelphia N2. So this is a second version of the Philadelphia Phillies team. We can see here that the Giants, there's 6 different versions of the Giants in here. I don't know how many Pittsburgh teams there are, whatever. And it comes with 2 fully scheduled leagues for each one, which is super, super, super cool. It's not split by leagues in terms of American League, National League, but that's something very easy to do. You want to realign. So these are players from 1880 to 1967. Comprise these teams, and volume 2 is 1968 to now. Really, really, really a lot of fun, and you can always look at rosters and see who's on these different teams. So I think that was we already looked at that. So like here's an earlier Boston team that we can just click on, and and again, it's very, very hard. I haven't changed anything as far as fonts, but if you have this or you're thinking about getting it, it's really, really, really cool, because you're going to find players here that you've probably never, maybe you never would have heard of in a regular all-time greats league. So I'm going to change the active database here, just so you can see volume 2. And again, it's the same thing with volume 2. Let's do organizer. So we can see here, for instance, that there's 5 versions of the Cincinnati Reds. This is now volume 2. Of course, all their parks are assigned. 5 versions of the Phillies, 5 Pirates teams, only 2 San Diego teams. Makes sense. They've only been around since 1969. Giants are just represented twice here. The Mets, what have you. So pretty good stuff. Again, there's all the ballparks, and then here are all the players. You'll notice some blanks. So there are players in here that aren't on teams, and a lot of them. And so again, all of these guys, this is 1968 onwards. So there's everybody's favorite Met, Bobby Bowe. And again, you can look at players this way. I mean, this is absolutely just massive, massive, massive. So that's what this is. And then things are split into leagues. And you can actually redo this and play this in any area you want. So it does have normalization. And I think I've tried to sell this game enough. Diamond Mind Baseball is just such a great game. So there we go. And that does it. We're done. That is it. That is it. So guys, thank you very much. I hope your week goes well. I still have off tomorrow, which makes me very, 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 very happy. Still no word on a pocket pennant run update, unfortunately. All I can say is I've had a sneak peek at it, and it's gonna look really spiff. That's all I can tell you. I promise Paul wouldn't say anything. So we started out showing off, talking about Dobrov baseball for Jack Dawson, and welcome to the Discord, Jack. And I think you'll like Dobrov. Pretty cool. All right, it's time to say thank you to John DFW. Okay, thank you, Aaron. I will look at that. Thank you to Aaron Reed, to John DFW, to Tim Clee, baseball fan 879. Heart and soul of this channel, cousin Ken Castro was in here with us. Dwayne Mart's YouTube network, you got to check it out. Jack Dawson, thank you. D. Scott Howard, who's on tour, and cousin Ken, I'm going to be making a special model rocking a D. Scott Howard on tour T-shirt. So that's going to be coming. Hopefully, D. Scott will share that with you. Corey Highfield was also here with us tonight. Thank you, Corey. Always a treat to have you. Jack Dawson, first one in the ballpark. And that does a crazy, crazy game. Until next time, guys, we'll see you around the batting cage. All right, good night.